The science of grit, perseverance, passion, and the path to success. What separates those who achieve their long-term goals from those who give up? Is it raw intelligence, talent, opportunity, or something else entirely? Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating science of grit, that powerful combination of perseverance and passion that might just be the secret ingredient to success. Welcome to our scientific exploration of grit. By the end of this video, you'll understand what decades of research reveals about how perseverance shapes our brains, influences our behavior, and contributes to achievement across domains from academics to athletics, military training to music. First, let's start with some fundamentals. The concept of grit was pioneered by psychologist Angela Duckworth at the University of Pennsylvania. In groundbreaking research published in 2007, she defined grit as sticking with things over the very long term until you master them. Initially, Duckworth conceptualized grit as having two crucial components. 1. Perseverance of effort, the tendency to maintain diligence despite challenges or difficulties. 2. Consistency of interests, the ability to stick to similar interests over extended periods. As Duckworth explained in her research, the gritty individual approaches achievement as a marathon. His or her advantage is stamina. Before becoming a psychology professor, Duckworth taught math in middle school and high school. There, she observed something that might seem obvious, but had profound implications. Students who tried hardest performed best, regardless of innate ability. This observation sparked her scientific journey into understanding how effort influences success. The neuroscience of grit. What happens in our brains when we persevere? Recent neuroimaging studies offer fascinating insights. A 2018 study published in the journal Scientific Reports utilized voxel-based morphometry to examine the neuroanatomical correlates of grit in 231 healthy adolescent students. The researchers found that grit was negatively correlated with gray matter volume in the left dorsolateral prefrontal cortex (DLPFC), a region associated with executive function and self-control. Conversely, gray matter volume in the right putamen part of the brain's reward system positively predicted grit. Additional research published in 2018 demonstrated that undergraduate students with higher scores on the perseverance of effort subscale showed lower reaction times in attention-related tasks and differences in brainwave patterns, suggesting positive correlations between grit and task-related attention. Another fascinating study revealed that structural integrity in white matter pathways, neural connections commonly implicated in emotion regulation and resilience, was positively correlated with grit among adults with depression. This suggests grit may have neurological connections to our ability to manage emotions and bounce back from difficulties. Perhaps most intriguingly, research indicates that growth mindset, the belief that abilities can be developed through effort, mediates the relationship between brain structure and grit. This suggests a complex interplay between our beliefs, our brain architecture, and our capacity for perseverance. Grit versus intelligence. For decades, intelligence was considered the primary predictor of success. As Duckworth noted, intelligence is probably the best measured trait that there is in all of human psychology. We know how to measure intelligence in a matter of minutes. However, intelligence leaves much unexplained. There are intellectually gifted individuals who never achieve their potential, while others with modest cognitive abilities accomplish remarkable things. In one fascinating study, Duckworth found that among Ivy League undergraduates, smarter students actually had less grit than their peers who scored lower on intelligence tests. This suggests that students who aren't as naturally gifted compensate by working harder and with more determination. And this effort pays dividends. The grittiest students, not the smartest ones, earn the highest GPAs. But this relationship is nuanced. A 2020 analysis published by researchers at Israel's Tel Aviv and Ariel universities found that intelligence contributed 48 to 90 times more than grit to scholastic achievement and 13 times more than grit to workplace success. Meanwhile, the personality trait of conscientiousness contributed twice as much to success compared to grit. Even Duckworth herself, in a 2019 follow-up study analyzing data from over 10,000 U.S. military cadets, found that cognitive ability was the best predictor of success in academic and military domains. Grit contributed only modestly to these outcomes. The missing piece, passion. Recent research published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences suggests we've been missing something crucial in our understanding of grit. While the grit scale has been widely adopted, it primarily captures perseverance, not passion. This matters because passion appears to be the catalyst that makes perseverance effective. As researchers found in a meta-analysis of 127 studies involving over 45,000 participants, the effect sizes linking grit to performance were larger in studies where participants were more passionate about the performance domain. Consider the Italian singer Andrea Bocelli, who initially pursued a career, a lawyer path requiring substantial persistence, particularly given his blindness. Despite completing his law degree, Bocelli continued singing at piano bars. It was only when he fully committed to a passion he couldn't shake that he achieved remarkable success. In a survey of 422 employees matched to supervisor-rated job performance, researchers found that the combination of perseverance measured through the grit scale and passion attainment, measured through a new scale, predicted higher performance. Similarly, among 248 students, the combination of perseverance and passion attainment predicted higher GPAs, partly through increased immersion in their studies. This intense focus or immersion appears to be the mechanism through which perseverance and passion together drive performance. When we're passionate about something, perseverance allows us to dive deeper, engage more fully, and ultimately achieve better results. Grit across cultures and contexts. It's important to note that the original grit framework may contain cultural biases. Researchers have pointed out that how perseverance manifests and how it relates to success may vary across cultural contexts. Additionally, the impact of grit appears to vary across domains. For instance, while grit predicts retention in demanding contexts like military training, its relationship with academic achievement isn't always as strong as other predictors. In organizational settings, research suggests that the relationship between grit and work goal progress is nonlinear. A 2020 study published by the International Association of Applied Psychology found that an employee's belief that the organization cares about their contributions and well-being influences the effectiveness of grit in the workplace. Developing grit. Given what we know about grit, how can we cultivate it in ourselves and others? Research offers several evidence-based strategies. 1. Foster a growth mindset. Remember those neuroanatomical findings? Growth mindset believing abilities can be developed through effort appears to mediate the relationship between brain structure and grit. By embracing challenges as opportunities to grow, we may enhance our capacity for perseverance. 2. Find your passion. As recent research shows, perseverance alone isn't enough. Identifying activities that genuinely engage and excite you creates the foundation for meaningful grit. 3. Practice deliberate practice. Elite performers don't just work hard, they work smart, focusing on specific areas for improvement with clear feedback loops. 4. Build supportive environments. The relationship between perceived organizational support and grit reminds us that context matters. Surrounding yourself with people who value your contributions can enhance perseverance. 5. Develop self-regulation skills. Remember that grit involves the key psychological processes: self-regulation and motivation. Strengthening your ability to manage attention, emotions, and behavior builds the foundation for perseverance. In a nutshell, the science of grit reveals a nuanced picture of human achievement. While perseverance clearly matters, its effectiveness depends on passion, context, and its interaction with other traits like intelligence and conscientiousness. Rather than seeing grit as a silver bullet for success, we should recognize it as one important piece in the complex puzzle of human achievement. By understanding how perseverance works in our brains, in our behavior, and across different contexts, we can better harness its power while acknowledging its limitations. As Duckworth and colleagues have shown, what makes grit special in just the ability to persist, but to do so in pursuit of goals that deeply matter to us. Perhaps the most valuable insight from grit research is simply that we should persevere, but that we should be thoughtful about what we persevere toward. If you found this deep dive into the science of grit valuable, please consider subscribing for more evidence-based explorations of human psychology and performance. Until next time, keep cultivating that special combination of perseverance and passion that makes achievement possible.